Welcome to all you Romanian enthusiasts. This is Stefan from the Romanian Academy, and today we're gonna talk about adverbs. If you think that you know already everything about adverbs, if you think that you can learn that yourself, taking the resources online or any other inspiration that you might find, like ChatGPT for instance, well, I would think twice about that, because there are many things about adverbs in Romanian that those kind of resources get wrong. I have been there, I have researched all there is about adverbs online, and I would stick until the end of this video because there are many other resources that you can access, and this is really just the tip of the iceberg, and you will see exactly why in a second. This season will continue with more interesting things about adverbs, like comparing and the superlatives of adverbs, as well as the most common ones and the biggest mistakes there are out there. So without any further ado, let's just get into the topic of adverbs. Let's go.
Hello lovely people of YouTube, just on a very quick note here, I want to let you know that the first Romanian Academy course is now live. That's all I wanted to say. After watching this video, check the course out, it will be worth it.
So what adverbs really do and what they are, obviously you might have heard about adjectives, adverbs and all of those. It might be a very old topic that you just couldn't care less about repeating, or maybe you have covered it a long time ago. Regardless of that, adverbs are really important for any kind of sentence, for any kind of conversation in Romanian, and they are different than adjectives in the sense that they describe verbs, not nouns or pronouns. And also they give you a lot of context in a sentence. Just think about, for instance, here in English, when I took this phrase, this quote from a film that I don't remember the name. It was supposed to be a horror film. I really don't remember the name, but it was something like, I think that is perfectly splendid, right? So when you use this kind of stuff, like perfectly, of any kind of ly, especially in British English, it's quite crazy how many times, how often people use adverbs. Also, quite, pretty, nicely, quickly, absolutely. The list goes on and on and on. It's insane how many adverbs you could use in English. And what I want to do today is basically give you a bit of an incentive to use them in Romanian as well, because you have them, and they are quite easy to use. Quite easy to use, yes. Finally, a topic in Romanian there is out there to grasp quite quickly. So today we're going to cover the things in this list, such as the definition. We kind of already covered the definition. There's not much else to say about adverbs, but I am going to touch one very important aspect that I have already talked about, but I want to get a little bit more in depth, because I think it's worth for you to see in practice the difference between an adjective and an adverb, and then the formation, or how you build adverbs depending on what kind of word you use for that. The uses, so basically here we're talking about what kind of roles in a sentence they have, like what kind of context they cover, and then we're going to have some practice, as we all do for a while now. We're going to do some exercises with adverbs. Talking about the definition, by the way, you'll get from now on some of those icons here. This means that this is just part one out of quite a few. So you get quite a lot of content here on the Romanian Academy about adverbs, and this video is just the tip of the iceberg. This is not an A, this is an iceberg, and this is just the tip, and this is the video that you're gonna get today. So if you stick until later, you'll see what else there is about adverbs. So adverbs are not adjectives. The reason I said add plus verb, because it adds, this is the easiest way to think about it. It adds something about the action in the situation. So that is different than an adjective, because an adjective, well, even though this might not tell you a lot, it describes a pronoun or a noun, right? So let's take, for instance, if you know already, or if you have covered the previous videos in this season about adjectives, or you know already what an adjective is. Pisica este foarte frumoasă, right? So the cat is very beautiful, right? But frumos, yeah, can also be an adverb. So if I say here by the way, here this frumase describes the cat, right? Like what kind of cat. So this is an adjective, and also if you have, for example, pisica merge frumos. So here we're talking about how the cat walks. Yeah, this is very important because you need to think about these things. In Romanian, you need to think about these things. The way the sentence is structured, the way you talk about things, like exactly what you are saying and asking questions inside of a sentence. Here, you ask the question of how the cat walks to be completely consistent with the previous sentence. So, how does it walk beautifully? Yeah, and that's how you use it. There will be more examples. This is a very basic example. There will be more example and more practical examples that you will see in a second. Next, I would go into the types of adverbs. That's quite an important topic because, as you might have known, yeah, most of them, they are same as adjectives. They have exactly the same form. You saw here frumos, yeah, it takes exactly the masculine singular form of the adjective. This is the adjective, and this is exactly what's going to happen here. So you see here we have frumos, the same, nicely, beautifully, whatever. Atent, carefully, is the same as the adjective rapid, corect, fericit, liniștit. So they all have the translation underneath here. And as you can see, pretty much all of them have the ly version from English, because ly words from English are adverbs. Wow, big surprise. So if you have got to this video and these definitions don't really help you understand what adverbs are, I would stay until the examples, and more than examples, the exercises in point 4. Because there you'll see practically what they mean. No theory, just practice. So there is a bit of practice here. We have some examples. Studentul a rezolvat corect exercițiul. Yeah, this means that the student solved the exercise correctly. And if we look at this, we need to see the word correct and to see here exactly what it describes. Does it describe the adjective, the noun, exercițiul, or does it describe how the student solved? That's the question, right? And if you're thinking, you know what, like I know exactly how you might think about it in English, and for you it might be exactly the same thing. You might be like, oh, this is describing the exercise. But that's not how Romanians think, and this is exactly what I'm trying to talk about on this channel, and this is exactly what I want to tell you. Think like a Romanian would. You need to change your way of thinking if you want to understand those topics in Romanian. And here, when you let's have a look at the English example. So the student solved the exercise correctly. It's quite obvious. If it's with ly, it's an adverb, right? But if you see it straight away in Romanian, studentul a rezolvat exercițiul corect. Because in Romanian you can get this semantics, the order of words in a sentence. They can be, for example, the correct could work exactly the same if it's put after exercițiul. So you get studentul a rezolvat corect exercițiul, or studentul a rezolvat exercițiul corect. Regardless of where it is, correct describes how, the manner, yeah, the student solved. That's it. How did he or she solve the exercise correctly? And you can ask exactly that question here, the question of how. And then, de ce crezi că se simte așa de fericit? So why do you think he feels so happy? We will cover this so, or the așa de, in a future video. But today we're just going to go through the basic adverbs in here, fericit. So, se simte fericit. How does he feel happy? Again, in English, here you don't have that ly. Probably would be correct to say like that. How does he feel happy? So even though it doesn't have this ly at the end, happy is an adverb. So there are instances in English when you don't see that ly, but it's still an adverb. So careful with that. You need to ask questions, and that is exactly what you will see in the PDF that is attached to this video. The free PDF you get as a free member on Patreon. It covers much more than what you get in the video, and it is explained in a way that you don't have to just listen to me. You can just read it from a paper. Also, here is really worth mentioning mult, because mult comes from an adjective, and oh my god, there is a lot to talk about mult. That PDF is going to cover just that. It's going to cover how mult works and how mult is different when it's an adjective than when it's an adverb. The biggest, I would say, the biggest caveat here is to think as mult as a word that can change its form. This is something that my students really tend to forget. So mult really changes depending on the gender and the number. So you can get multa, mulți, and multe. And obviously that will be an adjective, because adjectives change their form. And as we saw here, so if it's the same as adjective, it takes the masculine, we said here the masculine, where do we say? Here, masculine singular. It takes the masculine singular form. So mult on its own will be just a lot as an adverb. So just think about, that simple question. How much does he run? A lot. That's it. And that's an adverb. You'll get, as I said, a lot of explanations, of a lot of extra explanations from here in the attached PDF. Now, if we move to the second type of adverbs, which are built from other types of words, this is something that, well, I would say the fact that they are coming from different types of words, it doesn't mean that much for you, probably. I would say that if you're focusing on the endings such as ește and ish and ush, that would be something more tangible and more important and easier to grasp. So if you look at some example here, român plus ește becomes românește. Here this is a noun. Părinte plus ește becomes părintește, again coming from a noun. And if we put together all the information that we have already, talking about how you do something, well, you do something in a Romanian way, or you do something in a parental, actually both of them work, paternal or parental way. It's about the way, right? You'll see this explained even more in the uses of adverbs in a bit. So that's one of them. Then you have ish, morțiș. So you get the phonetic change here, cruce, cruciș. So again, coming from, for example, an adjective plus ish from cruce, which is a noun. So morțiș, cruciș. Yeah. This is, by all means. You'll see some examples in a second, because those are not very... Cruciș is probably quite easy, but morțiș is not an easy word to use in a sentence. And I will give you an example in a bit. And then târâș and chiorâș. So here I maybe would put this like that, so you can see all of it. There you go. So târâș is basically crawling, how you do something, well, crawling. And how do you, for example, how do you walk, or how here for chiorâș, how do you watch or look with, well, I did find the closest, this word, a squint, I think it's pronounced, or with a glance to one side from the corner of the eye, something like this. I hope my impersonation of a squint is accurate. If not, comment it please in the comments, because this is a very hard word to translate to English, I have to say. Then this example here. So a ținut morțiș. Yeah, a ține morțiș is a very common expression, and it means to do something, to insist on something by all means. It's not really to do something. It's more of a possibility, kind of a internal feeling. something intangible, I would say. A ținut morțiș să meargă azi la munte. So he or she insisted by all means to go to the mountains today. But insisted here, when you say it in English, insisted, yeah? A ține morțiș. A ține is the infinitive. It means to hold. And a ține morțiș is this expression of to, as I said, to try by all means. And insisted in English, when you translate it, he insisted by all means to go to the mountains. It goes to something like there are some other people involved, right? Insisted to. You get this idea there is someone else involved. Well, a ține morțiș doesn't necessarily mean that. It doesn't necessarily involve someone else. Correct me if I'm wrong again in the comments, please. And then we get to compound adverbs, meaning they are built from two different words. Yeah, compound. This is what in grammar compound means. It's built from at least two different words. So here with prepositions, yeah, we have deasupra. So we have asupra and de seară, seară and de and din. Yeah, there are the prepositions. So here as well, de acolo, dincolo. So from that side or on the other side. Here I would change this to from the other side, I think, because it's din. It makes more sense like that. For example, vine dincolo comes from that direction or from the other side. Then with conjunctions, ori and cum, oricând, oricum, cumva, so whenever, anyhow, somehow, pretty straightforward. Poți veni oricând, yeah, you can come whenever. Well, I put that as an example. I didn't think about it. Maybe let's give another one. A reușit să rezolve cumva, yeah, so he or she managed to solve it somehow. And then I would like to tell you now that you get here, this is the second, number two. Number two thing is a quick mention that you will get all this as a PDF. Find the link in the description and in the pinned comment, and also go to Patreon. Just join as a free member and you'll get access instantly to this PDF that has definitely more content. It has more examples of this category. It also tells you entirely what mult is all about when it's an adverb, and much more but you'll see in a bit, because we didn't cover that yet. Let's move to the uses. Yeah, and we have here with the uses the modality. We talked a lot about the modality, but let's look at the other ones too. So here we have am mâncat felia aia de pizza degeaba, încă mi-e foame. I ate that slice of pizza in vain. Yeah, so it describes degeaba, in vain. How did I eat it? In vain. I'm still hungry. Place. Yeah. Aici la Mamaia sunt prețuri mari peste tot. Here there are two here. Yeah. So aici and peste tot. This is just emphasizing, basically. Peste tot is just emphasizing this aici. It's just everywhere, you know. But yeah, here and everywhere. Where are they? It asks the same word, sunt, and you get two adverbs for the price of one. Time. De mult nu te-am mai văzut. So I haven't seen you in a long time. De mult is in a long time. Describes time. In how long, you know. You ask in Romanian, de când. This is the question you would ask. De când nu te-am mai văzut? De mult. Quantity, yeah. Dați-mi, vă rog, 2 kg de roșii și cam atât. And that's about it. And how much more? Și cât? This is the question you would ask. Și cât? Cam atât. And that's about it. Again, might not make any sense in English, but you need to think about it in Romanian. Ask Romanians, or ask the grammar books, or ask me if you want. Go on Discord. You have access to Discord on through Patreon as a free member as well. And you can ask there in our community any kind of questions, including what questions you need to ask in a sentence to get an adverb, for example. It's all there. You can get access right now, and you can ask us all this stuff if you are curious about it, and to see more details about adverbs. Also, it's very important to mention here that in the PDF that you get for free, in this one, you will also get more than these 4 uses. And also, you will get as a pretenaș, which is the second paid tier, so it's like literally for a price of a coffee a month, you get access to more exercises. And why is that important? Because those exercises here, they are very basic. We'll see them in the practice section, but you will get more as a pretenaș. Because what we care about here is, you get the video, you understand the topic very briefly. If it's new to you, you get to the PDF and you get to study yourself. You get to practice it as a pretenaș, and then you'll have a 4th tier as well. But if you are interested in getting to know and to practice more adverbs, you get it here.
If you got all the way here in this video, I think you should consider subscribing to the Romanian Academy down below. It would help me with the algorithm, but if you also like the video, you give the chance to other Romanian enthusiasts just like you to join this awesome community and learn more things about the Romanian language or Romania in general. Should we get back to the video? Let's do it.
Finally, let's go to practice this. So, we'll have some exercises. This is exercise 1. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4. There are 4 exercises. And let's move straight into them. So, translate the sentences taking into consideration where mult is an adverb and where it is an adjective. So, it may change its adjective form depending on the number and gender. We talked about it. If you want to pause the video right now and then give it a go. We will come back here and do the answers straight away. So he ate a lot. El a mâncat mult. You don't change the ending because it's an adverb. I read a lot of interesting books. Am citit multe cărți interesante. It comes next to a noun. It's an adjective. You change the ending depending on the verb, on the number and gender of cărți. Multe. A lot of work awaits for you. Multă muncă te așteaptă. Again, a lot of work. She talks a lot in class. Vorbește mult în clasă. And then, how much does she talk? A lot. You ask the verb. You received many compliments. Ai primit multe complimente. Compliments, it's a neuter noun. A lot of compliments. Many compliments. You'll see again in the free PDF a lot of interesting information about a lot of and a lot, because it's pretty much the same in Romanian as mult. So translate the following sentences from English to Romanian using the correct adverb from the list. So again, pause the video and then you can give it a go. We will come back with the answers. So, șarpele a mers târâș de-a lungul pământului. She cooked Romanian for her friends. This doesn't make full sense in English, but it is what it is. Ea, or just a gătit românește prietenilor ei. He looked at the paper squinting, trying to read the small print. S-a uitat la hârtie chiorâș, încercând să citească scrisul mic. Scris, writing. Print or writing in Romanian is scris. They stared at each other, cross-eyed, trying to figure out the puzzle. S-au uitat unul la altul, cruciș, încercând, again, so încercând să rezolve. You can say here puzzle or enigma, up to you. You can just say puzzle-ul. The father explained the rules in a parental manner. So, tatăl a explicat regulile părintește. So he insisted by all means to speak Romanian. In Romanian, this is that expression that we talked about, a ține morțiș. So, el a ținut morțiș să vorbească românește, if you want. It can be also if I say in Romanian, yeah, să vorbească română. Fill in the blanks with the correct forms of the verb from the list. Let's make this here. Deasupra, de seară, dincolo, oricând, cumva, cumva. Choose the appropriate words based on the context of the sentence. And please pause the video to give it a try yourself. Cool. So, ne vom întâlni la cinema pentru a vedea un film, probably de seară. It works very well. Poți veni oricând vrei. Casa bunicilor este dincolo de râu, într-o zonă liniștită. So, on the other side, yeah. When you say dincolo de râu is up and beyond, yeah, the river. Vom merge în parc, chiar dacă vremea nu este perfectă, sau oricum. El a reușit cumva, so somehow, să termine proiectul la timp. Nori grei se adună deasupra, above. It seems like it will rain. Cool. And then finally, this is a bit of practice for you to understand this idea of asking questions, because that comes probably unnaturally if you're not a Romanian speaker and if you haven't learned a lot of grammar growing up. So below are questions that inquire about different aspects of actions. So how, where, when, how much. So this is context, yeah. Of actions, so of verbs. Answer each question using an appropriate adverb in Romanian. So basically what you have to do is answer these with an adverb. Be sure to choose an adverb that best fits the context of the question. So optional, identify the type of adverb, modality, time, place, quantity. Those are the basic ones that we talked about. There are more, as I said, in the PDF. So basically, I mean, I can do this with you if you don't understand what this is all about, although I find it very straightforward. Cât ai mâncat la cină, and then you say, for example, puțin or mult. Yeah? Very easy, very straightforward. Pause the video, give it a shot yourself. Cum vorbește profesorul în clasă? Again, you can say mult, or you can say tare, or you can say repede. You see here, you have how much, you have how, yeah? Unde se află biblioteca? Acolo, aici, there are plenty of them here. So, unde, where. Când plecăm în vacanță? Poi mâine. You can say dimineață. Dimineață, I cannot spell today. Cum conduce el mașina? Încet, slowly. Cât de des mergi la sală? You can say, for example, frecvent, or just des, or you can say destul de frecvent, but again, we will talk about this kind of adverbs in a future video of this season. And then unde locuiesc ei, you can say basically anything like, again, acolo, aici, departe, aproape, and so on. So those are some ways to answer these questions through adverbs, and you should see that when you ask cât is quantity, yeah, so this is quantity. Cum vorbește, this is modality. Unde se află biblioteca, so this is place. Când plecăm, this is time. Cum, how, yeah, so modality. Cât de des, again, quantity. Unde, place. You get more exercises in the other PDF that you get as a Pretenaș tier. And finally, you can get access to a Învățăcel. So the fourth thing available for adverbs, the Învățăcel tier class on adverbs that's gonna come. Actually, let me tell you when it is going to come. It is going to come next week on the 17th. So next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Romanian time. If you want to get there, just join something like Învățăcel or Philanthrope, and we will talk about everything there is about adverbs. Last time it was a blast. It was a really, really good class. We did talk about everything there is vowel conjugation for with U. And if you want to find the recording for that class, you have it on Patreon. And the class is on Discord, but you'll get all the information anyways in due time, and I wouldn't worry too much about that. So that's it for today. This is adverbs. This is a little, actually, as I said from the beginning, this is just a tip of the iceberg of adverbs. Here I put a little block at the beginning, but you can kind of saw there was those 3 types. So the definition, what adverbs are, they're like comparing them to adjectives. Formation, how you build them, so same as adjectives, from nouns and adjectives and some other things like prepositions. Compound adverbs, made out of at least 2 words, the uses, what kind of adverbs there are, so modality, time, place, and so on. And we got to practice it a bit as well. This was it. Thank you so much for watching this. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you found it useful. For more content just like this, just stay tuned. There is also our first course available on Udemy. Check that out. The romanianacademy.com, Patreon, and Discord for any news. Thank you so much for watching this, and until the next one, la revedere.